After a long and very difficult period of reflection, I've decided to leave the party that I've served since I was 14 years old, to leave my role as Parliamentary Secretary to Health, and to join the Liberal Party of Canada. I want to support a leader who strongly and unequivocally respects a woman's right to choose. It is time for a leader who has the ability to rally his team and all Canadians, to steer the country in a more positive, productive, and united direction. That leader is Justin Trudeau.
You know, when Rob Ford was mayor of Toronto, it was never dull in this city. Well, now all the excitement is in Ottawa on Parliament Hill. Well, someone who's got his close eye on the goings-on between the MP Eve Adams and now Justin Trudeau is David Akin, host of Battleground here on Sun News from 5 p.m. Eastern. All right, we went into this weekend thinking, oh, you know, it's just going to be a nice visit by the German Chancellor. We'll see some nice photo ops. And then, boom, Monday morning, David, a big switcheroo.
And a cabinet shuffle, and we didn't even get to lunchtime before that. It happened. Lots of news. But this thing with Eve Adams, I was in the National Press Theatre when she walked into it with Justin Trudeau, and I got to say, it literally took my breath away. I went, whoa, I can't believe this. Why? Because she has been one of the most partisan conservatives, liberal-hating conservatives in the House of Commons, using just about every opportunity to sort of take a shot at the opposition. And this might be a little inside baseball for most people, but everyone in this town knows that her fiancé is a guy named Dimitri Soudis, and we believe that he's still her fiancé. She wouldn't exactly be clear on that today. They have been spotted together as recently as today. And who's Dimitri Soudis? Well, he was one of Stephen Harper's closest aides for more than a decade, right from the time he was opposition leader through until Majority PM of just a couple of years ago, knows all of Harper's inside plans, and went from there to be the executive director of the Conservative Party of Canada. And this is who she was going out with.
Yeah, and in between, of course, our friend Dimitri, a good friend of mine, I should say that, you know, spent some time at the Canadian Olympic Committee, so very high, has maintained a very high-profile role. But let's even rewind the tape a little bit further. Miss Adams has been embroiled in an ongoing controversy, everything from her expensing her nail salon trips and hair salon visits during the campaign to now, of course, David, with some distribution of a mailer that went out to her riding, which wasn't supposed to go there. So there's a big question mark. So I'm wondering the wisdom behind a very public front with Justin Trudeau. And she says things like, I want to be with a party that allows women for choice. And of course,
there's some debate about that because the Campaign Life Coalition, who are the pro-life folks, of course, had her down as supporting or restricting abortion access laws. Well, we're not sure about a lot of the things that Eve Adams has said. But you go back to this nomination, you heard in the news, one of the troubles she got into, she broke the rules in the nomination fight in a riding she wanted to run into the GTA. And as a result, the party said, you're banned. You can't run anywhere for us. That happened on January the 29th. Now she says, oh, I want to run for the Liberals. Somewhere in the GTA, we don't know where. And this is another big issue. A lot of the GTA ridings already have Liberal-nominated candidates. There's a couple in Brampton that have not yet got a candidate, but there's already ongoing fights with 3 or 4 people wanting those ridings. Is Eve Adams going to take on Lisa Raitt in the GTA riding of Milton? Lisa Raitt, very popular transport minister. Who knows, all sorts to do with this. But I bring up Dimitri because here's what we're wondering is the play here for the Trudeau Liberals. I don't think that everybody's going, oh, that's great. We've got some potential finance minister in Eve Adams. She's only been elected since 2011. Some say the real get here is, was it her fiancé, Dimitri, who knows where the bodies are buried on the Conservative campaign? We've got a trial coming up this spring. Mike Duffy, Pamela Wallin. Certainly Dimitri Soudis would know maybe a lot about what went on there. Is he going to spill the beans to the Trudeau team? We've been trying to get a hold of him all day to get his comment on it, and he's dodging calls and dodging messages. And when asked specifically about Soudis, Eve Adams called reporters sexist for asking about him. It's supposed to be all about her today, and it didn't matter, but her family is 100% behind him, whatever that means. So it's got a lot of tongues wagging, but, you know, a good get for the Trudeau Liberals, I guess, in the sense that you always want to poke your eye in your opponent. The last time that someone left Stephen Harper's caucus, the last time an MP left across the Liberals, was Belinda Stronach.
Yeah, we know
crossing
how
to
well that
join.
worked out. And that, of course, was to throw Paul Martin a lifeline to save his government.
And it did, but it only lasted for a few months.
Yeah,
that lifeline.
absolutely. In a little bit of time we have left with you, David, and we appreciate that it's a very busy day, and you've got to put the fine touches on your show as well. But what is the scuttlebutt as far as just the real rooted reason as to why she decided to go this route? Because as we mentioned, January 29th, she was told up until that moment she still wanted to run for the Conservatives. A week and a half later, she's now suddenly found religion on liberalism. And, it's very hard for me in my mind to imagine going from a Stephen Harper Conservative to a Justin Trudeau Liberal in a week's time.
And certainly one, again, that has demonstrated the ardor for the Stephen Harper brand of conservatism that Eve Adams has had. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it was that January 29th letter. We know that she did try to appeal to the Prime Minister to overrule what the party bosses were saying, that she couldn't run again, and he refused. He said, it's up to the party. That's who you've got to listen to. So she was certainly trying her hardest to see if there was a way for her to be a Conservative candidate in the 2015 general election, this year's the fall election. And she didn't get that, and now she's going to run as a Liberal. She was asked straight up, isn't that really the reason you're switching? And she says, no, of course not. It's because she doesn't want to be part of a mean-spirited party. Okay, fine. We'll see what the voters say come this fall.
Absolutely, and with every twist and
before
turn.
that, we'll see what liberals say.
Yeah.
We'll see what liberals say, because she's got to. That's going to be the toughest fight, the nomination race in some of these GTA ridings, whatever one she chooses.
Absolutely. Well, probably not going to be a lot of happy liberals about this too, in light of what Ms. Adams has said about that party in the past. But every twist and turn, we know you'll have it covered. Thanks for joining us, David.
No problem.